All right. Hello, Miss Jess. So I read your message yesterday. I wanted to make sure that you knew that I read it, that I wasn't just like leaving it till later. But I wanted to give you like a full in-depth video back for you. I'm sorry that it's like bouncy. I'm sitting on a trampoline because otherwise I'm sitting at like a broken picnic table and I want it to be outside. So sorry that it's like a little bouncy. Hopefully you're listening rather than watching. Okay, so I'm going to open up your message again just so I make sure that I hit everything you talked about. She said this week's been good, getting more into the zone with meal prep, which is amazing, trying to get your protein in, and things are crazy with Christmas. 1,000% they're going to be crazy with Christmas. They're always crazy with Christmas. And so this is where, reminding yourself that it's not about perfection, it's just about effort and going, okay, like, how am I going to get my protein in? Like, that's my only nutrition thought around the holidays is how am I going to get my protein in? Everything else can go to the wayside, meaning, am I eating too many carbs or I'm eating too many fats or blah, blah, blah. Like, if you are getting your 180 grams of protein in, you're not going to be too low on your calories. Guarantee it. Especially at this time of year. You're also going to be probably not eating an excessive amount of carbohydrates or fats because you're full, right? So that's the biggest factor is getting enough of the protein in for you to begin with. And then that'll help you be like a little bit more moderated and everything else. And then that's also going to help with the snacking at the end of the day after you've had gummies. So there's a few things that I recommend doing with that specifically. So number one is have your gummies and don't have snacks that you want in the house. If right now this is the struggle that you're wanting to work with, ideally you'd be able to have them in the house and not have to worry about them because you could have one or two and know that they're still going to be there tomorrow. Right? Like at the end of the day, you're an adult and they are still going to be there tomorrow. You can go buy more whenever you want. So it's not a scarcity of I need to eat it all right now because I don't know when I'm going to get it again. Like when you're a kid and your mom would buy chips once a week and you're like, I'm going to eat them all right now because I haven't had them in so long. And it's like this restrict and binge cycle. Right? So ideally you'd get to a place like that. That would be a goal. But that takes time. That's a long time down the road. In my opinion, that's not something that most people can do overnight. Like any coach, it's like, oh, well, just keep it in the house and have one or two. That's great. If that works for you, fucking go for it. But based off of what I know about you, by the way, this is just a UV sleeve. If you're like, did you break your arm? No, it's just to protect my tattoo. Squirrel brain. I know that you understand me in that. So ideally, that would be a great place to be. But right now, knowing yourself and knowing where you're at in that when you have something like that, you want it, it's all in, right? It's not going to be one or two cookies. It's going to be 6, right? So that's where I would encourage you to have limitations on those things of I'm going to grab one serving and that's it. But I also know that when you're not in a clear headspace, especially under the influence that way, sometimes that shit doesn't work. And so what I found worked really well, because I struggle with this same issue, first off, is if I'm having protein, if I'm actually full, eating my dinner and then having that substance, then you can logically go, yeah, but you just ate. You're not actually hungry because you just ate and you know that you're okay. And you can talk yourself through that. You can parent yourself a little bit. The next piece that I would also recommend is having a full liter of water with you. And being a little bit more, not even you need to be in control, but having a goal of I'm going to drink this full liter of water. And if I still want a snack later, after the full liter of water, not at 3/4, not at half, when you're fully done that liter of water, then have a small snack and set yourself a boundary. I'm going to have 2 cookies. I'm going to have a small bowl of chips. I'm going to grab whatever it might be and even know yourself. And maybe it's setting up a serving. And so you just grab the serving and you carry on rather than being no one else is going to know. So I'm going to just grab whatever I want. You're going to know and you're going to be upset with yourself later on. And I don't want you to feel that way. And so how are we going to combat that? And then the last one that I recommend, and this was my personal way that worked well for me, is I would brush my teeth. I would have my substance, brush my teeth, and chew on gum while I drink water. Because then it satisfied the need for sweet. It satisfied my need to chew on something and keep myself busy. But then I was also able to drink more water that way. I found that worked really well. Or have a drink that you really like. You know that fizz is my jam. So that's what I would have. I'd have myself a fizz, or I'd have myself my magnesium drink, or make myself my protein spread, or protein ice cream. These are all things that I just make literally with my protein powder and almond milk or frozen bananas. Super simple. And so those are things that you could definitely try as well. And have like a protein snack ready for you in those times, or brush your teeth, chew on some gum, and drink your water, right? Like these are different options to definitely come back to if you would like to try them. Sorry if I like get quiet. First off, rain just is like pouring out of the side of the trampoline on me. Second, there's birds everywhere, and so suddenly they'll just like swoop around. I'm like, what's that? And I'm not yet used to the fact that it's all birds here and nothing that I need to worry about, like, ever. Sorry that I'm like distracted. This is not my intention right now, but the water is fucking following me and soaking my shorts, so that's sweet. Okay, now with the alcohol. Okay, let's just get right down to the nitty gritty of this. The first thing I want you to understand and remember for yourself in regards to snacking, holiday drinks, Fridays, having what you want to have, and then just saying, well, I did that yesterday, so fuck it, I'm going to do it again today. That doesn't make any sense. I understand. I understand the fuck it attitude, but I also want you to stop and stop and really think about this. Does that make sense? I fucked up. I did the thing yesterday, so I'm just going to keep doing it again today. That would be like, so first off, you've heard the analogy of you get one blown tire, so you may as well just go around and slash them all and cost yourself $1,000 rather than $250. No, it doesn't make any sense. It would be like smashing out every window in your house. Because one of your kid hit a baseball through the window. Well, you better smash out every single window so you have to replace them all. Right? Like, when you stop and break it down that way, you're like, oh, fuck. One of your chair legs breaks. Well, fuck it, I'm going to break every leg on every chair. Why? Why would we do that? It doesn't make sense to do it that way, right? And so, logically, that's the logical part of it. Now, stop and ask yourself, when you do those things, when you do that, when you say, fuck it, I'm going to drink again today. I'm going to have the full bottle of wine instead of just one glass or whatever it might be. Ask yourself, what is the benefit I'm going to get out of this? Is it actually going to make me feel better? Is it actually going to bring me joy? Or am I just doing it because I'm looking for something that I'm not actually going to get out of it? Including the freedom, the drunkenness, the playfulness, the fun, whatever it might be for you. Stop and really think about, what are you going to get out of it? And are you going to get the same result from one glass as you will from 5? Or are you going to feel way worse about the decision to do 5? Right? And so that's the first thing I want you to think about. The second thing is, every time that you put something to your mouth, every meal, every time somebody brings you a drink, every time the day starts again, meaning Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every single time you get an opportunity to choose. You get an opportunity to decide, are you worth putting in the effort? Are you worth continuing to sabotage yourself with actions that don't serve what you want and don't serve the person that you want to be? Like, I know you don't want to be that person. I know that you don't want to be stuck at this size. I know that you don't feel happy with those things. So, what actions are you taking to make that not be your current reality? Because right now, with the high level of alcohol specifically, that is going to be a massive reason as to why this is happening. And so, you know that I'm never going to, like, you know that I don't drink, and you know that like, I've been almost a year sober, and it's not because I want to tell anybody else about that. Like, that's not the reason for it, but because I didn't like who I was with those things anymore. I didn't like how it impacted my health. I didn't like how it impacted my mental clarity. I didn't like how it made me show up in my business or in caring for people. I didn't like who I had become with those things. I didn't like how it made me feel anymore. I was chasing the feeling that it used to give me when it no longer gave me those feelings. And so I understand that it can be very challenging to not do the things that you once did that made you feel fun and good and enjoyable. And they're part of your social circle, right? Like, that's what you and your girlfriends do. You get together and drink wine. Okay, well, can you bring kombucha? And maybe you have one glass of wine and then you have kombucha, and you have, like, obviously, you know, I'm a fizz stick lover. Like, that's my normal thing that I go for. But, like, bring, like, non-alcoholic sparkling wine or whatever and just enjoy it with them. Enjoy the social aspect rather than feeling like you have to have the drink, because that's not getting you where you want to go. Alcohol, like, I would love for you to be able to have one glass and carry on, and not one glass every day, one glass on the weekend and be like, yeah, I'm going to have a glass when we go for dinner. I'm going to plan for that. That's when I want to have my drink. I want to have one glass on Christmas Day. I'm going to have one glass on New Year's Eve. I'm going to, like, and then I'm going to be myself. And then I'm going to be content with myself. I'm not going to pretend like this is an easy chapter to go through. I'm not going to pretend like that's an easy feat, but it is the feat that is necessary to make the growth happen, to heal your body and its inflammation, to heal your liver and your kidneys from the toxicity that they're going through. Alcohol, I could talk about it till I fucking die, that it is of zero benefit. It has no benefit to you whatsoever. It doesn't have benefit to your mental clarity. It doesn't have benefit to your brain health. It doesn't have benefit to your liver health, your skin, your heart, your intestines. It has zero benefit. What it does is it leads to water retention. It leads to spikes in your blood glucose into your insulin, which is going to make it so your body holds on to body fat longer. It also leads to high levels of sugar, leads to inflammation, which is the number one precursor to all disease. And it's also going to lead to so much dopamine, inability to uptake dopamine, because your body is getting dopamine from alcohol. And now when you get natural dopamine, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel as good. It's not as valued by your body because it's used to having the quick fix of dopamine from alcohol. And it's also a downer. So, it's not going to do well for your, is it a downer or is it an upper? Anyways, what it's going to do is going to boost you. You're going to feel fucking awesome. We all do. Everybody does. I don't care what anybody says. If you have one glass or two where you're just buzzing, depending on the person, that's enough to make you feel awesome. But then the next day, when your body is screaming at you for dopamine and is pissed at you because now there's inflammation and sugar and all these things going on in your body, it's not worth it. That isn't worth it. Now, it's not worth it to me, right? You are an adult. You get to pick at the end of the day, is it worth it for you to go through all that suffering just to have the drink? That's a you decision. And I'm only giving this kind of tough love and straight talk to you because you specifically told me to. I will never say that people should just give up alcohol for the rest of their life because I think it's the best thing for them. I mean, scientifically speaking, yeah, it is the best thing for people. Straight out of the gate. I'm not going to pretend like that's not true. But I want you to be able to live the life that you want to live, but I want you to be intentional and ask yourself, is this getting me closer to where I want to go? Is this getting me closer to where I want to be, to the person I want to be, to how I want to show up for myself? Or is this a Band-Aid to feel good right now, fun right now, connected right now, and let go and let loose? Is that worth it right now? Because you're getting all those things right now. The long term is fucking hard. That's just hard. And I know that. But I know that you're also worth the effort. The question is, do you believe that you're worth the effort? Because I can't do the work for you. I can tell you on repeat that you're worth it and you deserve better than that. But until you believe that, and you not only believe but understand that, nothing changes. I can pour belief into you day in and day out, and I will, and I promise you I will until we are done doing coaching together and even after that. But at the end of the day, you have to believe that. And the question that I would start to ask yourself is, why don't you? What is the limiting belief that is attached to your worth, your value, your belief around alcohol and you? That if you don't have alcohol, you're not what? That if you don't party, that you are what? That, or whatever it is, for me, a lot of the limiting beliefs come back to history, childhood, beliefs that were imprinted that were never even said. You're not good enough. You don't deserve that. Right? You're not worthy of whatever it might be. You'll never be that size. You'll never be happy. Whatever it might be, I want you to really stop and think about what is the story you're telling yourself that is wrapped around your desire for alcohol, because that's going to be a massive factor. Once you can identify that piece, it's going to be a lot easier to manage the habit that's been created around it. So that's what I have to say about that for you. I'm stoked to hear about so first off, let me know if you have any questions on that. Let me know if you need further support on that. I'm going to send you some screenshots, some pictures I'm reading a book. It's called Discipline is Destiny. and it's so good. If you don't know anything about Stoicism, I highly recommend you look at it because it's so good. It's like ancient philosophy essentially, and it's just like it's great. It's great mindset work. But this one chapter that I just read is all about. It specifically talks about this, like, you know, the pain, and yeah, I'm just gonna send you pictures of it. Anyways, you'll get pictures of it and then read it. Take time to read it if you can. I would type it out, but it's gonna take me a million years and then it won't get to you. So read it. It's so good. Again, the book is called Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday. You can always just look him up on YouTube, Ryan Holiday. He's so good. And then, yeah. But I'm stoked to hear about your guys' house, like the rental house getting like almost done, and then you guys are going to be selling it. That's super exciting. And let me know if you need anything along the holidays. Let me know if you need anything going into the holidays of like how to prep, how to get ahead, all that kind of stuff, and like pre-plan your life, because that's the recipe for success. Is failure to plan is planning to fail, right? Like you've heard that a million times. The more prepared you can be mentally, and the more you can like set yourself up for success that way of fucking birds of choosing how you're going to show up now and then in 2 weeks, it's going to make your life so much easier. Okay, all my love to you, my friend, and I will talk to you very soon. Again, I'm sorry for the shakiness. I'm sorry for the jumpiness with the fucking water running on me. All my love. Talk to you soon, friend.